concept then. We are as strong as SAP with business objects, or IBM with Cognos ReportNet. Yeah? So IBM bought Cognos, and Cognos bought TM1. TM1 is like Palo, and Cognos is like Pentaho, if you want to compare that. But together they are IBM. The same is true for SAP. SAP has business warehouse, they bought business objects, yeah, they bought other tools, so they are very broad. Microsoft the same. They have SQL Server, analysis services, they have reporting services, they have Excel integration, yeah, so very broad. And if we go out to larger accounts, we typically not win the deal because one part is missing. So we as JDocs, the relational reporting is missing completely. Or the data warehouse infrastructure is missing. If Pentaho goes to a large account, they are missing the Excel integration, they are missing the planning piece. Yeah? So we have a very good alternative against Cognos and SAP at a very attractive price point, because all these tools have open source components and premium components. So what we did, we have large accounts where we started with open source of Pentaho and premium of JDocs, or vice versa. Yeah, so you can mix that. If you look at the offers, so it goes from reporting to analysis to planning, and of course Pentaho is doing analysis, Palo is doing analysis, so you can draw the line wherever you want to. But once again, with these two products together, and I can just eliminate Pentaho and can write Jaspersoft on top of it, it's the same in my perspective, we can cover everything. Yeah? For smaller accounts, maybe Palo is sufficient, yeah? Because we can also do reporting, of course. Yeah? That's the idea behind. If you look at the added values, for Pentaho customers, they get planning and budgeting. Yeah? So they get Palo, they can write that. They get maybe financial consolidation in some respect, management consolidation. They get Excel. So they are able to speak with the Office of Finance, with the controlling department. They can get into the Excel environment there. We have departmental web creation, so Palo Web, which you learn tomorrow, is very easy to use also for controllers. Ad hoc analysis, and that's also important on the technology stack, multi-dimensional in-memory OLAP. So Pentaho has Mondrian as an engine. I'm not sure if you heard that, Mondrian. It's an OLAP engine. It's Rollup. It's a different technology. Yeah? And because of that technology, they are not able to plan at all. Yeah? So it's a completely different technology. For Palo customers, we get relational reporting. We maybe get the dashboard tool. Pentaho has some quite good demoing dashboard tool. A data warehouse infrastructure, so they have ETL tools to build data warehouse infrastructure and report deployment. This is something we're missing in Palo at the moment. So say this report will be scheduled every Monday as a PDF to these people. We will have that in October. So this is something we will have also in our tools. Okay, if you look at the architecture gets a little bit more complicated, of course. And this is not 100% true, because I'm not the Pentaho expert. So I just picked some pieces. So what they have, data integration. So Pentaho uses Kettle. That's their tool set. We have Palo ETL. So we can use one or the other. We can also use both together. Then we can build a data warehouse. We have OLAP on the GPU and Mondrian. Then there's some web front end. So there's Pentaho Web Studio with reporting, ad hoc and dashboard. There's Palo Web with spreadsheets and Microsoft. And you see, the Pentaho guys only have this. Yeah? So they have no Excel at all. Yeah? So they fell short there. So that's also important. If you go to customers, you have to make a decision which one of the tool sets you want to use. It makes no sense to mix them. If somebody has already Pentaho, fine, then we integrating this into that web studio and vice versa. I showed you that live on the demo. So that's it. That's how it looks like. Okay, these are the next technical steps. let's show it how it looks like on a demo. So what I created here is two things. So this is my environment. So what I'll show you Pentaho a little bit. So let's go there. Okay, how looks Pentaho? Let's go here. So Pentaho has also some kind of, say, web user interface. So that's the Pentaho console. And here you can also create reports, analyze data on Mondrian, or create dashboards. That's quite nice, and we have the same tool set. So as I said, if a customer comes from the Palo side, you maybe don't want to show that, because it's another portal, why should they use it? So what can Pentaho do? They have some analysis stuff. So you can have some reports like this, where you can drill into more details if you want to. Yeah? And we can do the same. So this is on Roller, or like this. It's a trend analysis, where you have charts if you want to. What else can they do? Typically they build classical reports. Let's see if this one is working. Yeah, classical reports like this one. Yeah, this is a typical Pentaho report. It looks like it's pixel perfect. Yeah, you can print it very easily. You can change the context. So I want to create the report now for Blauer See. So let's run the report. I can choose it as HTML or as an HTML report, and it's now generating the report. So these are typical reports coming out of Pentaho. Show you another one. Yeah, so these are typical relational reports, so to say. Yeah. So the good thing is that we can easily integrate Palo into this environment. So if somebody creates a Palo report, we can just add a folder here, and we can integrate our finance cockpit, and now this is coming completely from Palo. So this is our latest demo we have. Can we switch this off? Yeah, so this Biker's Best report is now coming from Palo, completely integrated. You can also integrate a report which is able to write back, but we do that later. Okay, so if we go back to Palo Web, and we don't saw Palo Web so far, so we have our own environment where we can do the same, more or less. In a different way, because our approach is that you don't have to learn a reporting tool. If you build a report, we have this cool online spreadsheet, and I guess you get that tomorrow, right? Yeah. So we have the Excel experience also in the web. That's completely different. But let's look what we can do. What I did, I created an ETL process, a loading process, and I'm sure it's not, maybe it's not here anymore, but I can just show it to you. It's not there. But I created an ETL process which is loading the same data you see here on Pentaho. So the data they report here, this data is also in the queue. So I can create the same reports now here in my report manager. And here are my Pentaho demos. So for example, what we saw before this chart is now based on Palo. So this is the analyst part. You know, the two bubbles which are overlapping, we can do the same here. Or line share. Yeah? So this is the same report, and of course we can do, and this is Palo, just drill down and get the information out of Palo. The good thing is we can combine that now. So we can create a report where we can do planning. So this is a planning report where I can just type in now data to the system. And you see it's immediately there. And this is something what Palo can do, but Pentaho never. So Pentaho cannot be used for any kind of write-back environment.